for episode 22 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and here with me, same as always, we have our players. Sadly, Frank couldn't be with us again today, but I'm sure Tordrick will go on some grand adventure as he usually does when I have control over him and send him away to do amazing things. We also have Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Christo. Now, I think we will jump right into things, but let's give a quick recap of what happened last time. You guys had just escaped this cave system where you had acquired some items for Dagwood, and after many hours of swimming, you wash up on the beach and see that a good chunk of the town seems to be on the lookout for a missing man named Uman. And you all decide to split ways, some of you incredibly tired and wanting to go back, some of you wanting to help the town with their search party. You all make your way around. Uman is not found. And after a few hours, you guys don't know how long they were looking prior, but after a couple hours being with them, everybody heads back. Tordrick leads a gaggle of dwarves to the tavern. A lot of people have a good night talking and drinking, and sometimes that's what you just need. Some people stay in their rooms. Some people plan to steal things from the person who's giving you a kindness, but that's okay. Gorbjorn stole one of the things of gold and then put an eel in its place, just a dried eel. Anywho, you guys go to see Dagwood the next day. It gets a bit aggressive as multiple people walk into Dagwood's home. It becomes a bit of an interrogation. Dagwood, not accepting the way she is being spoken to, first off does not send Gorbjorn out, but asks for the item back, realizing that she's been stolen from. Gorbjorn leaves, and then requests that Fen leave as well because she does not like the way she's being spoken to. Fen also leaves and goes back towards the docks to continue the search for Uman. The rest of the party continues a conversation with Dagwood, where they find out that she used to travel with Ave, and that they were lovers. And sadly, after Ave's father died and he went home, they parted ways. All of this was discussed under a deep into the void. What's your spell called? Help me.
Zone Truth?
Thanks. I was just like, truth circle?
Yes. Sorry, I was muted, but yes. Got there. Area
no-lie
of
zone.
Onlineness.
Dagwood talks about how she, in a sense, worships Jormungandr, and that she thought the world should have been consumed a long time ago, but has no ill will towards you and does not plan to kill anyone. That is not her intention. Dagwood and Saga start up a conversation about their gods, being happy to have someone to talk to, and that is where we are going to pick up, is with the party who is still with Dagwood. As you sit down, Saga, she kind of holds out a hand to you. One moment. I have a couple questions, if that's all right, before the spell runs out.
Oh, of me?
Oh, no, but if you do know the answers, you're welcome to tell me.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I suppose you were there. After speaking with all of you, I have decided I would like to know. I would like to know how Ave died, please.
Yes. We were heading up the Spine, the major mountain in the Valley of Odin. We came across a party of strangers. Humanoid. They wore white cloaks. They had masks covering their faces. Many of them with gold accents somewhere on the masks. Ave stepped forward to speak with one of their number who came forward. It seemed to be a peaceful parley. They spoke for some time. They seemed amicable. And when Ave turned back to look our way, the man stabbed him with a spear in the back.
I see. He is dead for much. We can't speak for him, but I'm sorry that your honor was taken. This person has dishonored you and Ave's family. I hope you can get that back.
Thank you.
I have a follow-up question. This one is a bit more personal, but I feel like we got quite a bit personal with me. He gave you this list.
It's only fair.
He gave you this list full of instructions, really no answers. Do you resent him?
I feel like I can't. It doesn't matter how I feel. He was my brother. He was chief. I'm his sister. I am the last of the Hemmings, aside from my mother, aside from Ave's child. I know not if they've been born yet, but nonetheless, the responsibility is mine. And resentment, I don't know. I suppose there is a bit of that there, but I can't see it helping.
Understood. I have some information for you as well, some things that I have written down that you will take with you. You will follow these instructions as well. She reaches into the desk drawer and pulls out a piece of paper which has an outline of a humanoid body, just head, arms, legs, torso. There is a drawing of a rune on the arm, both arms, legs, on the forehead, and on the chest over the heart. These are the runes you will carve into Ave's body before he is burned at his funeral. As per his will, you need to place the artifact into the statue of Gelveg first. I was informed that he built some sort of slot where it could go, somewhere it would fit. I was just given dimensions, so when I give it to you in its new form, you should be able to find where that goes. Just be aware of the other things, the bracelet of hair, the gem of worth, something odd. Those are completely up to you as a grieving party. I cannot tell you what direction to lean into when it comes to what you think he should be buried with. You said that I know him. I knew him. Ave grew to be a different man. And it's probably for the best. And she gives like a little smile. Grew up a bit.
Not as much as you might think, but I can imagine more than I may have seen.
Also, I'm just covering all of my bases, and I guess I'm a bit nosy. What of his crest?
That is where things get difficult. One of the number of the masked folks took it off his body before we were able to read his instructions. We will be pursuing it, but we had to get out of the Valley of Odin first.
I see. If it makes you feel better, this is just my interpretation of the will. It is not necessary for the funeral. It was just a sentimentality.
That does alleviate some of the urgency. That's good. I do want to get it back.
Of course, I recommend trying to cure the corruption first, which I'm sure is your first goal.
Most definitely, yes. I will say something's been bothering me. And I wasn't very complete in my description to you regarding Ove's death, although it was correct to a point. Two things have really stuck under my skin. It was made plain to us by one of the masked people, compelled by magic to speak true, that the leader of these people knew who Ave was and had intentions to seek him out and find him in order to fight, kill. I don't know what his intent prior to meeting with us was, but it was not peaceful. And in addition to that, Ave was stabbed 3 times. There was the initial stab in the back. After he fell, he was stabbed again, and then a 3rd time. In that moment, I thought it was simply spite, just to twist the knife for us, make things worse for us. But reading through Ave's will and going through this journey and finding what we have, does it mean anything to you? Does it sound ritualistic to you?
I cannot speak for these individuals. It seems this was planned. I think it's a beautiful coincidence.
Would it even be a coincidence that their spear was something they had recovered from the Temple of Odin? That it glowed when it was used?
Well, they must have thought he'd be very hard to kill then. To go look for such an incredible relic. But that's what they need to kill him. I'm not sure if they tried something else prior. I cannot speak for them, or they just wanted to make sure they got it right the first time.
Okay.
Maybe burn him thrice for safety. Who knows? Keep the theme going. Let him leave this world as Golveg was brought into it.
That seems right.
Well, thank you for answering my questions. I am happy to have answered yours without the added magical insurance, but I will try not to hold that against you. You are all grieving.
I appreciate you being willing to meet us on that, and I do apologize for the insult that we have given you in your home. As you say, we are grieving.
I appreciate your apology, Nana Hemming. Your friends are welcome to return and apologize, but I will say this, it is not necessary. My honor is not affected by what others say to me. But I cannot say that for others. I cannot say that for other people in this town. Calling someone a liar, as this spell does, and though I know you did not mean that, using this spell on someone else could come across as an insult to one's honor. So be aware. I'm not sure how things are done in Golunder, and I know Golunder under Ave's rule, was a very open-minded place. But not everyone is so kind. And I would also like to say,
Of course.
I am going to take a break. I'm going to take a rest. I've been working quite hard. I'd love to listen to your friend Saga tell me about her goddess. I will not continue working on my current projects until I have my spyglass.
Naturally. We'll check in on Gorbjorn and make certain that he makes all possible haste your way.
Of course. I truly appreciate that. Now, Saga, do you mind if I take notes?
Oh my, yes, of course. Go ahead. Oh, I mean, yes, as in I don't mind. Yeah.
Perfect. I'd love to look into it later if you don't mind. I have not really heard of your goddess, so, I'd like to be more aware.
That's good. Yes. I find a lot of people haven't, which is rather unfortunate because she is such a wonderful, wonderful goddess. Yes, but well, I woke up one time. Well, the first time I woke up, like, I'm not sure if it was like me being like reborn or something, or if I just fell and hit my head really hard or something like that. But I woke up in the sea, and then I swam out because it was rather cold. And I was pretty sore, but I had Lady Satyr memories in my like what she told me. Well, actually, I don't know if she told me something. I just knew that she was with me. And then I had I had a vision. Yes, I remembered the vision, and it was the first prophecy. And I walked away from the cliffs and the water, and I started fulfilling her prophecies. And since then, I whenever I get a new vision, I do the prophecy, and it's always wonderful. Sometimes she sees me and thanks me and stuff. But yes, yeah.
Oh, interesting. You have prophecies.
Yes. Well, let me just pull up the prophecies right now so I can say them.
let me think back on it.
Yeah. This is like a major part of my character, so of course I would know it right off the top of my head. Um, just why did you do this to me?
Dag was kind of nodding and writing down on the paper.
Mhm.
Interesting. And the prophecies have all come true so far?
Yes, so far, yeah. So the one that we're on right now is a light in the west sits south of the mountain, and there dances the face of a man burned white, which is Ave. If offered the chance, stab the goddess of spear and fire, which now illuminates your beacon, which we actually did do. I participated in that. It was me and Gorbjorn and I think Anana as well, and we stabbed this big statue of Golvig at Ave's wedding. And then you follow the beacon. Yeah, and then it illuminating the beacon. Yeah, no, it was on fire too. That was there. And then follow your beacon towards corruption, and then carry the torch homeward, which we walked right in to Odin, the Valley of Odin, and there was a lot of corruption there. It was very terrible, but we got through it, and then we were carrying the torch, which is Odin's ring, and then shed not a tear until you stand in the sky and watch the birds of soot fly into the horizon, which I assume is going to happen like in the next like day or two, and then we'll be finished.
Astounding. And you see that this whole time she's like been looking you in the eye and writing with like out looking at the paper. That's amazing. Do you know how many people would kill people for the opportunity to have prophecies?
That's well, I've never thought about it that way.
They're just prophecies, or are you like a soothsayer? Could I ask you a question and you would know? Or is it just like already predestined, you have a list?
Oh, wow, that's an interesting. Nobody has actually ever spoken to me before regarding this, so
A pity.
Sorry?
That's truly a pity.
It is, really. Then I would have had better. I should ask Lady Seder more questions. Try to ask me a question. Let me see.
All right, all right. Um, are you going to be able to catch the man who killed Ave?
Hmm. Oh, that's a big question. Okay. Um, Saga's gonna kind of hold on to her amulet and think real hard about that question, and then say, Lady Seder, show me a vision prophecy about this question, please.
Go ahead and roll religion for me.
Okay. Oh, that went right off the table. Next one. 13. That's
As
it.
you focus in, asking this question of your goddess. And for a moment, you get those flashes behind your eyes, like when you would put drops in, but nothing follows. And you don't know if you were like, was I just anticipating it real hard, or were you trying and I wasn't able to do it? But for a moment, you thought it was going to work, but nothing transpired.
Hey, okay, that it was like just about, maybe it's because I've never been asked before and I'm just not used to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably just need to work on it. It's, like a skill that, oh, speaking, and when I woke up, by the way, when I woke up and Lady Seder had I don't know, when I came out of the water, I was like so much better at things than I think I was before, I think. It was really, really cool.
Amazing. That's
Yeah.
very nice for you.
Yes. Yep. I knew some other languages too that I don't think I knew before. But I think I forgot some too. Like, I think I kind of forgot like everything I ever knew, which is really, really like that sucked a lot. But it was, I had a whole new path to take. So
How
that was
how
good.
many years ago was this when you started following Lady Seder?
Oh, it was 3 years ago.
Good. So 3 years of memories.
Um, Sorry?
You
Of
said you
new?
don't remember anything before the water, so you only consist of 3 years of memories.
Yes. Oh, well, I guess that means I'm like 3 years old in this time. Uh,
That makes sense. Now, I think that's very enlightening. You said the cliffs. Do you know where you were?
um, I I think it was those the ladies' cliffs, the cliffs of Freya. I think I went to a town and they said that that was what was near. I believe that's what it was.
Hmm. Then you are truly blessed.
That's what I said. I
I
Yeah.
can't disagree. Um, not many can make it to and from the cliff. So good on you. You must have been worth it in the god's eyes, I suppose.
Lady Seder does treat me very well.
Astounding. I am going to take a break. I am going to go continue some work with my student. And then I do not care who returns my items to me, but I'll be awaiting them, and then I will be done with my break, I suppose. Um,
If you if you never want to try to have a vision or something, I can like give you the I have eye drops, but like, or if you want like a token or something of Lady Seder. But yeah, that's mostly all.
that is incredibly tempting to offer me foresight. I will dwell on that. It sounds amazing and horrifying.
It's all I've ever known, and it's wonderful.
Hmm, amazing. You seem to garner favor with many gods, I'll be honest.
Um, well, I mean, I guess so, but
Well, between Lady Seder and Bragi, and it
Oh,
seems to
yes,
me
you're most
Golbeg
of what he
certainly doesn't
spoke
mind
of.
you.
oh,
When he spoke of the valley, he talked about how incredibly brave you were, of the amazing feats you did.
that's just because he's such a nice person. And we hung out a lot, and we did so many things together, and everyone was really amazing. So I'm sure he had a lot to talk about.
Yes, I didn't ask him very much about the valley. I asked him, I think, after reviewing them in my mind, terribly personal questions, and I can see
Oh,
now the possible folly in that. But that's all right. If he wanders by again, maybe I'll ask something like, um, "Were you there when your wife fell?" You know, something like that.
oh, that's probably worse. Yeah.
She makes a note on the pad. Right. I just assumed maybe.
Maybe. Oh, you could ask him about his music. He's very good. He's used my lute, and oh wait, no, it's a dulcimer. Yep, he used my dulcimer a few times.
Like, bad boy is a dulcimer.
That right there is a dulcimer.
I have a question for you because he avoided the question when I asked it. Have you seen, and I don't know if it's just story speculation, did you see the runes on his tongue? Does he have them?
Uh, has Saga ever seen his tongue?
Have any of us seen his tongue?
I don't think any of you have been aggressively looking at his tongue.
Like, has he ever like?
He's sitting there like,
Has he ever just?
Has he
How
been like
close are we to
singing?
Broggy's tongue?
casually eating ice cream, and everyone's like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, sometimes when you talk, you can like
Yeah.
sing.
I am
Say
going
ah.
to
Yeah.
tell you that
Aw, babe.
19 runes on his tongue.
Okay, I just had to check because I was so thrown off by that
Like,
one.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me? Um, no. I don't think so. I've never asked. Maybe they're underneath, like the bottom of his tongue, and we just don't see that part, you know?
You're very insightful.
I've been told I have very interesting ideas.
Those people are correct. Well, if you see them and we talk again, just give me a yay or nay on that. Just curious.
Okay.
Well, this has been an event.
Mhm.
I will see you all later. I am going to help Morden with his studies. Because I can see he is not reading. And you see Morden, like, quickly picks the book, this huge, like, wizard's tome back up in front of his face. You all know the way out. I can assume the rest of you will not break my stairs a second time.
Certainly not. Definitely
Oh,
not.
I can. I'll need
You're
like half a
mending,
day.
don't you?
Yes,
Oh dear.
but I can fix it.
That is all right. I'll have Morden learn something, and it'll be like, you know, hands-on magic or something. It'll be like a
Learning
field trip, but to the steppes.
experience.
Yes, I tend to. Yeah, yeah. That's a very good way to learn.
Thank you all. Saga, I appreciated having the conversation with you.
Well, thank you.
I will see. I do have a lot of books about the gods. I'm going to see if I can find anything about your lady.
Oh wow. Yes, please do. If you find anything, then I would love to read it.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I will get started on that. I'll consider it my downtime. Return me my items when you can. Give me. Depends how quickly you get me my things back, at least another day, and hopefully I can send you off, and we will see each other under better circumstances, maybe.
I certainly hope so. Thank you again. Very truly.
Right. Goodbye. You know where the door is. Morden, sit down. You see Morden stood up to, like, escort you. Sit down, Morden. They know where the door is. Morden sits and, like, puts the book on the table. He kind of grumbles under his breath. Well, I'm going to get started on that. And she stands and makes her way over. And you can see she's, like, looking at the book, and she, like, turns it forward a few pages. Nobody needs to know that spell. Let's move on.
Oh dear. I don't suppose any of us caught a glimpse of what that page was.
People are welcome to
True
roll
strike.
perception. Roshan.
So
Some
Roshan
shade.
has been, ever since the kind of offhanded comment from the last session, he's been fiddling with one of the buttons or clasps that holds his turtleneck up, and as he is on his way out, he kind of finally undoes it, and the collar folds down and reveals a nice black collar, the tattoo around his neck, and on his way out, he says, "Thank you, Dagwood, for your time."
Of course. It's beautiful. And she gives you a little wink and then kind of turns back to the book. What did you guys roll on those perceptions?
Not great for me. I don't know about nobody else. I got 6.
Yeah, you certainly can't see. Looks like wizard shit.
I'm not at the right angle, and it's like
Spells.
upside down, and all of it's wizard shit, and I don't know what none of that is.
If anybody
17.
else rolled
Ooh.
17. The spell she was going to skip was, drum roll please.
Just that.
It's called drum roll please. It's just it's just the lead up to a spell or a ta-da.
I love it. I love it so much.
She just wanted some flair.
I want to learn that one.
Oh no, it's canon now.
I want to learn that one for real life, though.
You all
Somebody
make
get me that spell.
out of Dagwood's house, and the first thing that you guys probably see is a big half-orc hiding in a small bush.
You don't know I'm a half-orc.
Hello, Gorbjorn.
There's a man in a helm sitting in a bush.
Hello, Gorbjorn.
Stand up.
Saga's just skipping out the door.
Gorbjorn, do you have the spyglass on you?
Always had it.
I'll trade you. And Roshan will pull one of the golden clasps that was holding Bragi in the chair, and just hold it out to trade.
He starts holding out the spyglass for a second, and his grip tightens and his hand's shaking a bit, and he's going like, "No. We need the power. Fen needs this right now."
What are you talking about?
Fen went to look for Uman?
Uman. Uman, yes.
He missing at sea? Just look at sea, I think.
What are you supposed to look at the sea with it?
Okay, I'll trade you.
Is it?
But you have to look through it.
I think that's a fair deal.
Tracy's.
And I will give you one of the 3 clasps.
I am stupid like that.
The other 2 are just like Gorbjorn insurance if we need you to give something up.
You guys
They're like Scooby snacks.
to get things back. Down to 2.
Yeah, we just have to hoard little gold things away from Gorbjorn's view so that we can trade for important things that he's held on to.
See, the thing is I know it's magic for magic though. That's why I'm like, okay.
You're like, I know there's weird magic on this.
Yeah,
All right,
okay,
even
that's fair.
trade.
That's fair. He's not a total rube. He understands some of these things.
He understands a fair deal when he sees one.
Yeah.
Roshan, you are given the spyglass. What would you like to do?
Well, I can't go back on my promise to Gorbjorn. I will look through it out at the ocean.
Okay.
Nana will watch this and kind of like just trying to gauge Roshan's reaction as he's doing this, looking through the spyglass.
Roshan, roll Arcana for me.
Okay.
Saga will look out onto the sea too.
Can I give him advantage because I've like pointed it up?
We'll give him advantage.
Hey!
19.
19.
Ooh.
Okay. It is instantly startling. It's kind of, to put it into a comparison for like a modern era sort of thing, it's like a person who is colorblind putting on those glasses and then the colors hit you. That is what it is like looking towards the sea. It illuminates and the rest of the world seems to just disappear away from its just the incredible brightness and energy coming from it. And you can see just like motes of energy moving through the water in different places, some of them bigger than others, some of them many different colors. The sea just expands infinitely ahead of you, and just you can see so much of it and deeper into it. It's not like you can see like, there's the sand and the coral, but it's like almost looking into its soul. Like you are looking not physically into the ocean, but spiritually into the ocean.
Is it anything like ley lines? I don't know if that's a thing.
I wouldn't know if that's a thing either.
I'm like, I'm going to say no.
Fair enough.
At the moment, I'm going to say no. It is just the spirit of the sea. That is what you best think of with your 19.
So I'll put it down and say that was startling. That was a lot.
What did you see?
It was akin to looking at the night sky, but also flying into the sky and past the galaxy all at the same time.
Could you see anything in the sea? Could you see Uman or a fishing ship out off the coast?
Perhaps if I tried. I'm not sure how it works, but it's exhausting. It's hard to look through.
Well, I wonder if we could get Dagwood to perhaps at least make use of this spyglass to help us help the people of this town. And if we gave her the credit for that assistance, perhaps that could go a ways towards smoothing relations between the town and Dagwood. Might leave things a little better than we found them, possibly.
I think that's a great idea. I don't feel like she thinks she owes anything to the town, but
Right.
A gesture of goodwill. Well, the best we can do is ask.
That's what I think. I mean, the worst that she could say is no, and we don't even have to mention it to the townsfolk if that's the case.
Yes. All right, well, I'll go give it to her and ask for her assistance, and where should
Frankly, I think she likes you the best of all of us, so that's probably for the best. Well, aside from Saga, but everyone loves Saga.
Yeah, we've got.
I've been thinking real hard about it in the back. Everyone.
Just trying to analyze each person that I've met and see.
I don't know if that's true.
Ave's like, yeah, you're better than my sister.
I mean,
The 3 seconds he knew you, and he's like, yeah, no, there's an available room at my
I
sister's.
would die for her.
Hey, I'm gonna also trust you with this incredibly important will, even though I just met you. Okay, that's my sister's.
Great.
When the
There,
headcanon becomes real. Yeah, so Roshan will go let himself back in the house and make his way back up to Dagwood and present her with the spyglass.
As you go upstairs, you see Morden is sitting on the steps. It looks like he's trying to cast some sort of mending, and you just see that there's like some scorch marks on the ground, and there's also like a flower that is like sprouted out of the piece of wood, like it like regrew like some of its leaves in a spot, and he just looks incredibly frustrated as you walk past him.
I will, as I walk past him, just say, keep it up, Morden, you can do this, and give him a bardic inspiration.
What do you add to your bardic inspirations?
Plus, or a d8.
Ooh.
And swish.
It's a good thing he had that D8. It's a good thing he had that. He kind of looks at you, and there's like a glisten of like understanding in his eyes, and he turns down, and he focuses, and you could like see just like a tiny like splinter of wood that's like sticking out, go kind of like, Mwah. And it just like you could just. And you just can like he like shakes with excitement a little bit that he's like he was able to actually do something even if it was minor. You make your way upstairs and you see Dagwood standing next to Ave, who is still covered, but she's just standing there, and it looks like she's thinking.
Roshan will just clear his throat.
That was incredibly fast. Did he have it on his person?
Yes.
It was just on his way back. Okay.
I assumed that he was still nearby because I could hear you all talking outside a bit.
He never left.
Understood.
Um,
This was a very short break.
well, if you would, I'm not exactly sure how this piece works. I took a look out at the sea with it, and it was overwhelming. But there's a man who's gone missing. When we swam back from the cave, we tried to help find him, but we couldn't. And my companions thought perhaps this item could help locating him, and it may go a ways to helping your relations with this town. It's icy at best.
You're starting to sound like Alec Bramson.
Do I recognize that name?
I wish I had a politics roll. Go ahead and roll me. You can give me intelligence.
Okay. Ooh, that's like an 8. 7.
Does not ring a bell.
And who is Alec? I'm not sure I've heard that name before.
Oh, that is, my apologies. That is the chief son of Aarontoft.
Oh.
He has recently been bothering me about relations with the town. But if it involves me looking through the item I wanted to look through, then I suppose I can do that. If I see anything of note, I suppose, such as the 3 missing men, I'll bring that to your attention. I will also bring it to your attention if I see something greater.
Thank you. We appreciate all you've done, and I think the town will appreciate your help as well.
I suppose we'll see. A note. In the unfortunate case that I die, I will gift this to you in my will, and don't use it during the day.
Oh,
It can be a bit more difficult because the sun brings energy to the ocean, and it can be more intense to behold. So, I have nobody else to gift anything to, so enjoy. I'll give it a look once the sun begins.
Morden's there like, what the fuck?
Wow. She like glances over. Morden, you know you get the whole house, and he kind of like, and he kind of nods like, yeah. That makes sense. I don't want your snake stuff.
Like the house, the books, the food, you know.
Dordish's number, just so you're able to get what you need. He's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
that seems fair.
Seems fair. Yeah, I gotcha. Just from the stairs, like, yeah, that's fair. All right. I will do my best. Be careful if you're going to the water.
is there anything specific we should worry about?
I would say, I think you already know about the thing that causes worry is the high level of corruption that is leaking out of the valley. Usually things in the water are not much of the town's concern to an extent because there's nothing wrong with, first off, a burial at sea, and a lot of times the circle of life, the nature of the ocean, deals with that. That there is nothing that can be corrupted because the world deals with it before it can be. But things are different now. Just be aware.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course.
And he will let himself out down the stairs. Just because he's a nice guy, will give another bardic inspiration to little goblin on his way down.
Hell yeah, let's see how we do, Morden. You watch as, like, he's focusing really hard, and then just, like, another tiny little splinter makes his way in, and he's just like, you can just see the nodding. He's like, yeah, I'm doing it. Good thing for these bardic inspirations, he was not rolling well, poor guy. Poor guy, magic's hard today.
I can relate.
Bacon, and he's like, why is this guy, like, giving me treats? I don't understand. I'm, like, 40. You make your way out of the house and back to your companions. I was going to do, at this moment, a nice cutaway to our dear friend Fen. What do you guys want to do?
I just want to note that it's probably a little bit, not off-putting, but interesting because Roshan always has his neck covered, and that he's showing the tattoos is different.
Respect.
You really took that note about being who you are to heart, didn't you?
Well, we're not at home, and what could they possibly do here?
It's not like they know you outside of how they see you when they see you.
Yeah. And they have nothing to worry about. If they are worried, then it's their problem.
Quite so.
Hey, Roshan. Give me a Constitution saving throw if you'd be so kind.
Oh boy!
Sure.
Oh no.
Oh, right, he's a drug addict.
Oh
I was like, why?
What happened? Who's spelling us? Who poisoned him? Oh, himself.
Just a note about that. My mom is devastated. You guys devastated my mom. She's like,
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hoy.
That was a 7.
So the way you've been doing things of recent is something to help you wake up and something to help you go to sleep.
Yep.
It's about midday now, and there is a anxiety from taking this step into exposing your tattoos. You feel that same just uncomfortably tense sensation between your shoulders and can feel a bit of sweat on your brow. It could just be nerves, but it is very obvious to you and uncomfortable, incredibly uncomfortable.
Is it obvious to anybody else besides himself?
Are you going to try and disguise this sensation, Roshan?
No, I think it's probably easy enough to pass off as nervous about how people will receive him. So
people are welcome to roll insight. I'm going to tell you it's a very high DC.
That's fair. That's fair. I understand.
He's sassy.
I
have a 17 on my insight check.
Okay. He seems nervous. He seems nervous about probably exposing the tattoos. He looks uncomfortable.
Nana will kind of place a hand on his shoulder and give him a gentle squeeze, just bracing, like, you got this, kind of thing.
It's a little startling to him, but he turns and gives you a nice warm smile.
Are you guys going to head in a particular direction?
We should probably try and find Fen if we can.
Mm-hmm.
He went that way.
All right. Yes, you would have seen which way he went. Gorbjorn, would you lead the way?
Are you helping me find him?
Sure.
You know what? Sure, roll survival, Gorbjorn, with advantage. Just gonna let you guys casually walk to the water, but we'll see how long the walk is.
21.
Yeah, right.
So not
Okay.
You're good.
Like, I know where the docks are, and I know he went towards the water, and I'm gonna make a guess and look for footprints, and we'll see what happens.
Personally, I just want to be like on the ground sniffing, like.
Yeah.
Be who you are!
Ben
Live
does
out
not
loud!
smell that bad. He may live like a wild man, but
No, you smell that good.
he's got some.
None of you have told me about taking baths. You guys all probably smell like salt water. Like it's just perpetually in.
Brine. It's like
we all
tacky
smell
hair.
incredibly salty and very sad, which is the natural scent of the party. You guys start to make your way to the docks. We're gonna go over to Fen.
Salt, sea, and sadness. That does sound like the essence of the party.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just have to have a candle that's salt, sea, and sadness.
Fenn's got those sad boy tears too, so even when we're away from the water, you still smell the sea.
At least we smell like the rest of the town, though.
Yeah, everybody smells like this here. Everyone's sad and salty.
Oh no!
I'm not sure where that fish smell's coming from though.
And a gentle fish. Oh, yeah, just the gentle smell of the fish market.
Oh, that would be from the fish jerky that Nana bought.
That's very true. Fen, you start making your way briskly to the docks. After being told to leave, you immediately left. You make your way forward. I'd love a perception check if you'd be so kind when you get to the docks.
Sure. Say 21.
Ooh. So the first thing you notice is there's a bit of like a...
Oh, sorry, that's 20. That's 20.
That'll still do... I'm just like, darn, sorry. He was 21 on that.
To be accurate.
You still see this in particular. You see that there is a kind of a work notice board near the docks that you can see the fishermen use to basically keep track of hours, and occasionally it looks like it could be used for notices. You see a notice on the board that seems to be in better condition because the rest of them have just been aggressively hit by salt water just in the air 24/7. This one seems to be newer, and it says 100 gold for Uman Hassan's body or information. Bring to Alec Bramson. You also, after observing that, you can see the dock is still pretty populated, a large amount of people in boats, sticking pretty close to the edge. No boats seem like way out there. They all seem to stay pretty near the docks. You see that these men and women are still working, and you also see a woman who sticks out a bit, a woman in her mid-30s, wearing clothes of mourning. She makes her way onto the dock. Human woman, kind of light brown hair, tied back and away from her face. It looks a bit disheveled, like maybe she hasn't retied it recently. She makes her way forward. In one arm, she has a small wooden pallet. In the other hand, she has a basket, which she's carrying. She makes her way forward and drops to her knees at the edge of the dock. You see everybody take notice of her, and it's as if you hit pause. Everyone stops moving. Everybody on boats, they stop rowing. People put down their fishing lines, their nets, and attention falls to her. Watch as she places this pallet at the edge of the dock, places down the basket. It looks like she pulls out a man's shirt, folded, and places it on top. She also places a small knife that you can see is old and worn, probably for cutting lines and ropes, maybe gutting fish. There's also a small bag that she places next to it, and a rolled up piece of paper, which she places kind of putting some of the fabric over it so it will not blow away. She then places this into the water. Using a tinderbox, she alights it and she sends it forward, this very small little pallet, out into the ocean. And everyone waits. And the wood was thin, and the items on it weren't fireproof really in any way. Eventually, it is all consumed by the fire within a couple minutes. Doesn't take long for it to break enough that at least the pieces fall into the water. Everyone takes a moment afterwards. And then it's almost as if, unpaused, the world comes back into motion, kind of moving around this woman as she takes a moment longer and then stands, and she begins to make her way back off of the dock, back towards town.
As tactfully as he can manage, Fen is going to approach that woman, and having just kind of learned his lesson from being too forward, he's going to try to be subtle and kind of clear his throat and try to gain her attention without being directly rude. He had grabbed somebody by their collar before. That didn't go over well.
He's just testing things out. It's kind of hypotheses about how to talk to people. You clear your throat. You get close enough so she can hear you. She turns to look at you, and you can see her eyes are a bit red, a bit bloodshot. She looks a bit disheveled. But there is... roll insight. Squints. Is human.
13.
Okay. I mean, right off the back, very obvious. She is definitely sad. That is very apparent. But she does not seem broken. She does not seem... she seems like she is trying to exude strength and succeeding.
And I'm sorry, did you mention how old she appeared?
Mid-30s.
Okay. So Fen's probably gauged this as being Uman's wife. Mm-hmm. He just says, "Milady," and he goes the complete other side of the spectrum, and he genuflects and bows to her. Because he's trying to be super polite now after being turned away for being too forward. And he says, "Were you the wife of Uman, the man who's gone missing?"
Oh, yes. I am Uman's wife, Therma.
Therma. It's my name is Fen Varmaskaria. I come from the Briarheart Forest. We're near Galunda, a small town far from here. You may never have heard of it. Even smaller village in the forest. Anyhow, those look like funeral rites. Did you, within a day, have you given up on your husband ever returning? Is this the custom of this land?
I'd like you to roll charisma for me, please.
Okay. That's not terrible. That's a 10.
Okay. He seems like a little taken aback for a moment, not knowing you and having personal questions directed at her. But she does not react negatively. She does not get angry and leave. She kind of looks at you, and it looks like she's examining you and trying to fully understand. I have been married to my husband for 10 years.
10 years.
And he has come home at the same time every night for 10 years. He comes home and he says the same thing, and he greets me and he kisses me on the forehead, and then he collapses like a sack of potatoes. He did this every night for 10 years. And then he doesn't for one night, and the people search, and then it is 2 nights, and he does not come home. And the ocean is cruel. She takes what she wants to. And it is the natural order of things. I would not ask any man to risk their life to find my husband. I could not have another woman mourn as I have. I would not do that.
Is there a place we can talk? A place I can buy you a tea or a mead, something, someplace that you and I can talk alone.
Roll persuasion.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Okay. 10. I think it is nice that you are trying to understand, and I feel like I understand where you're coming from, and I need time for myself, and I need to work on the affairs of my home.
I understand. I want to find your husband. I want to find him. There were people in my village that went out to find food, and they never came back. And we waited too long, and when we found them, it wasn't great.
What?
It was not what we wanted to find, but it was better to have closure. I want to find your husband, and anything I can learn to help do that, to help bring you the closure you need, I would appreciate. But if you are not amenable to that, and if you need to move on, then I understand that as well. Tell me, though, one thing. What was the one thing he said every day when he came home?
Every night when he would come home, he looked incredibly exhausted, and then he would instantly brighten up, big smile, and would say, "Wow, where did I find such a beautiful woman? Thank you for trying to find my husband. I truly hope the ocean's taken care of him. I truly do." And she's going to start walking.
Good luck, my lady. And Fenn's gonna wander back down to the end of the pier, or whichever dock pier is closest, and just keep his eyes peeled. He's gonna try and take note of which way the prevailing winds are, and if there was a body that was gonna wash the shore, where it might come up or anything like that.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me perception. I am going to give you advantage.
Ooh, that's at 23.
There we
Thank
go.
you for the advantage.
You stand on the dock for a while as the world kind of starts picking up speed again, as people go back to working and people walk past you, and there's people just like lugging fish up and throwing them onto the docks. And the smell of the fish is incredibly prominent. And there's something that strikes you is you thought you had smelled the fish last night, but this is a different smell. And as you focus for a moment, unable to see an issue, unable to pinpoint anything with your eyes, there's that smell again. Different than the fish and the salt blowing on the wind. It is a sour smell. You realize that it is probably the smell of decay. And you know which direction it is coming from.
I don't know how much longer the rest of my party is going to be, so I'm going to head off in that direction and try to find it.
Okay. You have to make your way off of the dock onto like kind of a rocky sort of kind of angle, which is easy enough for you to navigate. It's a kind of an angle of sharp rocks, but once again, making your way over it, you are able to do this without any injury. As you continue forward, the smell begins to intensify. It was so subtle from where you were and just slowly begins to pick up intensity. You make your way, and you have to go pretty slow. This is not exactly your terrain, but you are able to do it. You make your way forward, moving over these rocks. You walk along them for about 5 minutes. And you watch as the waves kind of hit into the rocks and recede, hit into the rocks and recede. And on a nice low recede of the wave, you can see just a flash of a muddled green shirt behind like an outcropping of rock. You can see that there's more to it, but the thing that stands out from the distance is the shirt. And you can see that it is not like flat on the rock. It looks like it is encompassing something.
And how far this rock is against the shore? It's out a ways, or
it's pretty much against the shore. Like you could not climb up it and get back into the city easily. You'd have to go backwards more to be able to do that. But where you can see this green shirt, you can see it. You think you could get there in under a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna take off my cloak, and as we would do if we came across something dead in the, anywhere near the valley, prepared to wrap this thing. I've got a pretty good idea of what this is, and take off my cloak and get my rope out, and I'm gonna go retrieve this body and hopefully bring it in.
I'm going to give you a disclaimer real fast. I am going to describe this body in detail. I am going to give a thumbs up when I am done, but I am going to start now. You approach this body, something that has been in the water for 2 days, at least. And the body is swollen and straining against the clothing. The skin has discolored, yellowish and very soft and spongy and broken in places where the skin tears. And you see where the skin is torn. It looks like wrapped around it in places are these like deep purple, like, and it comes like flashing to you from things that you had just talked about the other day. It is the wrappings, the tentacles of an octopus, which are fully encapsulated around parts of the body. And you can see one protruding from this like partially burst open stomach where you can see some of the organs. You can see gulls flying overhead. I would like you to roll me.
Initiative.
I'd like you to roll me investigation real fast, please.
Natural one.
Okay. You approach, not having dealt with bodies that, died mostly in the water, used to horrible things that happen in the woods, not exactly the sea. You approach and you see that the tentacles seem to be moving. You're like, oh, there's still an octopus attached to this thing, and you remember the octopus story. And as you approach, you do not realize that it is not the octopus moving. It is Uman. As one of the tentacles unsuctions from the body, like pulling skin with it, reaches out and grabs for you. I am done describing this thing's body now, and we are going to take a break. Thank you guys for staying with us this far. Hope that wasn't too much. We'll get back to that in 10 minutes. Give everybody, time to dwell on it, if you will. I will see everybody in 10 minutes, and we'll get right back into it. See you guys then. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We just got back from our break. Things are going well, and everything is good. Thanks you for sticking around, and if you just got here, the party was just having a nice conversation with Dagwood, returned the spyglass to her. Fen went off on his own, met Uman's widow, who was not feeling incredibly talkative, and that's understandable. Though still determined, Fen began to follow the coastline, where he found what he can only assume is Uman. He thought he was fully deceased, and it seems to be something past that, as the corrupted body of Uman sort of, it like snaps to like a tension, like the tentacles like crack upwards and the head snaps to the side. The eyes just completely glazed over and kind of bulging. The teeth completely gone from the mouth. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll stop talking about Uman in a minute.
Give us the thumbs up when you do.
Yeah, I'm basically done, probably. Just be aware, probably going to casually talk about it some more.
That's fair.
But I'm past the full body description.
Cool.
The tentacle reaches out and is going to get a surprise round real quick. But let's go ahead and also roll initiative. Just me and you, Fen.
All right.
Oh boy.
It's my initiative and then my attack. It's catty corner. Fair number. Good, perfect, good. That definitely hits. One moment. Yeah, guys, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, no. Why would we worry? What's there to worry about? Nothing to worry about. Here, everything's fine.
This tentacle grabs onto your arm as you reach towards the body and begins to squeeze, and you hear your bones start to grind at the amount of like pressure being applied. You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Super.
I need a Constitution saving throw.
$16.
Okay. You can feel that there are some sort of spikes underneath the tentacle itself, and they stick into you. You feel your body start to tense, but you are able to push through the sensation, and you are not paralyzed.
That's good news.
That's good news. What did you get on your initiative roll?
13.
Okay.
Might be the worst initiative roll I ever had.
I think so. Usually you get 20s, but that's okay.
I have a +5 to initiative, so.
Gee.
All right. You get to go first. This creature is right in front of you and starting to stand up on the rocks. Its body kind of like molding into the crevices just because it's so soft and pliable.
All right, I'm going to take out my kukri and try to hack off this tentacle that's on my arm.
Go for it.
$18 to hit. Yeah, there's no disadvantage for that because it's not a ranged weapon. So
18 hits.
all right. And that does 6 points of damage.
Okay. Anything else? Because that was your first round. Do you get your?
Oh yeah, I get. Yeah, I mean, I get 2 attacks per round. Plus, I get
A third attack.
a third attack because I have Dread Ambusher.
Yeah, go for it.
But was I able to free myself from this thing?
I'm going to say, like gameplay wise, you were not grappled, but you definitely like cut into it, and the tentacle like kind of struggles and like pulls away a bit. But
Okay.
it's still in range of you, but it is not holding on to you.
All right. Bonus action, Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
I'm going to backpedal and draw my bow.
Okay.
Using Zephyr Strike to give myself advantage on this to loose an arrow at it. And that is a 23 to hit.
23 hits. And how much movement are you going after you tell me the damage?
Whatever I can do to distance myself.
This is difficult terrain unless Zephyr Strike makes you not affected by difficult terrain, but
yeah, so like 30 feet away to 35 feet, actually full movement.
And that's half your movement?
That's half my movement.
Okay, so you get 35 feet away.
So
Okay.
35 feet away along these rocks. And let's roll damage on that. That is 16 points of damage.
All right.
And then final attack, this time with sharpshooter. Oh, all right. 17 plus 3. Dirty 20 to hit.
Yep.
And 16 points of damage with sharpshooter.
Okay. Got it. All right, you slash at the tentacle that holds onto you, pulling away from this grip that like tenses your muscles, clambering back on the rocks. If you move too quick, you know you will fall. So having your movement, you move as quickly as you can. Put 2 arrows into the body. It sinks in like butter. It's truly terrible to look at. And you make your distance away from it. It turns its attention to you, lifeless eyes just honing in. Is that the end of your turn?
That's all I can do.
It pulls itself up onto the rocks. You can see where they're sharp. They stick into it. It does not flinch. It does not care about the injuries to its body. You can see where it is pierced by the arrows and the kukri, and you can see just a deep black blood, similar to what happens with corruption, oozing from the body as it just full-on drags itself across the rocks, uncaring of how sharp the edges are. It will take some damage from that, but it makes it fully to you.
Yep.
It is going to attack. Natural 20. How many hit points you got?
I have 26 hit points remaining.
All right, let's see how this goes. How many did you say?
26.
Okay. You take 22 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing slams into you, hitting you back into the rocks. Incredibly powerful. You do not know if you can do this on your own, becoming aggressively apparent. But that is the end of its turn. Let me give it its damage from dragging itself. Like, it looks injured, but not as injured as you. I would even give you the go-ahead and say that it's at, like, bloodied. But it just got to bloodied.
Sorry, buddy.
You can give me a perception check if you'd like to just get a theory of surroundings.
Good rolls. Not going to do me any good, though. That's a 22 to perception.
Okay, so you look around. In a sense, it is an incredibly exposed space, but you know that after having climbed this way, there are divots in the rock. There are places, because you're smaller, you can slip into shadow. And you can think you could fit into one of those possibly and be hidden from its view, possibly. You do not know if going into the water would help. You don't know if it's faster or slower there. It does not have fins. All you know is that it caught you at the speed you are going currently, but you don't know if you dashed or something. So that's kind of your situation currently.
All right. I only moved half distance before, so now I'm going to, with Zephyr Strike still on, to add 30 feet to my distance. And this thing does not have me grappled at the moment, right?
No, you are not grappled.
Okay. I'm going to move, that would be 75 feet.
Okay.
And
is
use
that already halved? Did you already half it?
I didn't, because of Zephyr Strike.
Does Zephyr Strike get rid of difficult terrain?
Actually, let me look that up.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not. Okay.
So
Thank
half
you,
the
Christo.
75 to...
Okay. Yeah, but I'm going to use my action to dash.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to get out of this thing's way, back the way I came, without trying to lead it directly into the wharf traffic, just kind of like back towards town, but like where people might be ready to take on something like this, not like where people would be caught off guard by it, if that makes any sense at all.
I will, I understand what you were saying. I'm going to tell you what you were going towards, though.
Okay.
You are basically going back towards where you came from, which is the docks.
Okay.
Prepared or not, but there's a good number of people there.
Yeah, people have like hooks and gaffs and stuff like that on the docks, so that's
armed to an extent.
Yeah, they're somewhat armed, and they're,
there's fishing and/or killing implements present.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm going, is as fast as my little elf legs will carry me.
Okay.
Not so little, but
like the first grab.
Average height for a 5'10", so like literally average American male height.
The first grab just kind of like almost broke your wrist, and then the second pull, you could almost feel your shoulder ripped out of place as you hit back on the rocks. You glance around, seeing there are chances to maybe hide. You don't know if it's worth it. And you take the chance to move. You use your action to move as quickly as you can, arm injured, bleeding onto the rocks, moving your way back towards the dock, hoping that the people can be readied, that there is a fighting chance with more people. Is that the end of your turn?
Bonus action, shout out, "It's him! He's corrupted!"
Okay. I'm going to roll something because you're a good 5-minute walk from everyone. Okay, you shout that out. Basically, all you can hear currently is the sound of, the waves crashing on the rocks and the gulls, but somebody could have heard you. You just don't know. You shout out, making your way back. It is now the creature's turn. It pursues you, its movement. Roll insight, and I'm going to give you advantage because you fought corrupted creatures before.
Okay. Beautiful natural 20.
Hey! With the Dice Cult logo and all.
You see the creature acknowledge you. Like, it moves its movement and looks at you. Like, it's actually physically looking at you and comprehending you're there. And you see it, like, its head tilts to the side, and there's, like, a squish sound. It's real nasty. As it sees the distance you have made. And you watch as its body kind of flops back onto the rocks, and it pulls itself into the water, disappearing below the waves. You can now no longer see where it is.
Oh, that's not good.
That is its turn. Would you like to use your turn once again to dash?
Yeah, I'm getting back to town.
Okay.
I'm gonna use everything I've got to get back to town. If I gotta cast Zephyr Strike again, I'll do that too.
How long does Zephyr Strike last?
Zephyr Strike lasts, I believe it's 10 minutes, but let me pull up what the...
It only gives you bonus movement speed if you make an attack anyway.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can still at least go your full movement.
All right. I'm not even seeing a duration on it. Oh, concentration.
1 minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 minute. Yeah.
I am going to do a bit of zhuzhing.
Narrative zhuzhing.
Narrative zhuzhing. Give me one more perception check if you'd be so kind.
Sure.
Hmm.
That is a 14.
You usually very eagle-eyed, very aware. This is not the time. Your focus is mostly on movement. As you are rushing along, you keep a glance at the side to the water, and you don't see anything. Nothing emerges, but something in your gut says it's still there, and you're not going to risk it. As you move forward, you move for this total 5 minutes, running across the rock and eventually getting to the point where you can now see the people on the dock. What would you like?
What would I like to do? I would like to run as I'm approaching the dock. Gesture to people to back up to get away from the water.
Okay.
It's out there. It's out there. It's a beast. It's a corrupted beast. It's Uman. He's been taken. Go, get away from the water.
I would like you to either roll persuasion or intimidation. I'm giving you advantage because they use Uman's name and corruption.
Okay. That is the same roll. So
Either.
17.
Um,
Thank you for the advantage.
you see some people stop and they seem to acknowledge you. And then it's not exactly your words that sell it for them. It gets their attention. It's when they look at you and see that you are near ripped apart. Like your arms, it's doing its best to stay there currently. You make your way forward, yelling that Uman has been corrupted. And you can see that you instantly cause a bit of hysteria. As people start to make their way kind of backwards on the docks, trying to move more inland, you see some people, some of the more like younger, kind of grizzled kind of looking dudes, just like pick up kind of like anything like that they think could be used to hit something. Like some dude just grabs an oar. You see a lady who's just like has a fishing rod and then she like flips it over. So it's not really the most tangible weapon, but at the ready. You can see a lot of people fleeing.
Anybody got like a trident?
Some people gathering cargo and trying to drag that inwards. You see the people in the boats being called to, people trying to hail them inwards. People in the boats start going forward, trying to row back in to get back to the docks. You watch as one of the boats, you can hear the men yelling from over the side of one of the boats, wrapping around a man's leg. yanks him fully into the water. You watch as the tentacle pulls him in. You see two other men in the boat start to yell. One of them kind of picks up a little fishing spear and is going to attempt to try and save his friend.
Hey, buddy.
He hits.
Hell yeah!
Little fisherman.
Aaron Tough boys,
damage.
we tough.
Aaron Tough.
Yeah, Aaron Tough.
This is brought to you by Aaron Tough. Tough.
Like a rock.
Did a lot of fucking damage, Jesus. This guy screams and like throws the fishing spear into the water.
Hell yeah, not my friend, you bastard.
You can see that it like gets thrown into the water and then stops, like it hit something, and then that thing starts to like you watch like the stick writhe and then go underwater with the spear. The second guy is going to you see him, he has a moment and he reaches in and he's going to try and grab his friend.
Is this within my range?
This is like, gosh, I'd have to say like 100 feet away from you. These guys
still
are
in his
The
range.
sharpshooter?
it is under the water currently.
Okay.
Yeah, it already pulled its arm back in.
All right, so I don't have the reaction time to recognize that this is happening.
You just watch it just like, poof, like a shark attack. He's just pulled under.
All right.
This guy rolled very high. I'm going to do an opposed athletics from this monster. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this guy rolled an 18. The monster has to roll at least a 15 to get this guy.
Hi, that guy drinks.
The hero of the day,
Name him now. You got to name him.
You have to.
Well, we have to figure out what his name first.
yeah,
Like,
you guys can ask
him.
the hero his name.
Yeah, we'll ask him for his name. This
Throws on the
unsung
boat.
hero.
Like, not
this
today.
son of Aaron Tough.
One guy stabs the thing and the other guy reaches his arm in. The other guy grabs his arm and he's sort of like, it's like Captain America and the helicopter. You can see his arms being pulled and then they pull the guy back up onto the boat, bleeding and screaming. This guy is now just screaming as he's pulled onto the boat. They start to row inwards, and you just watch as the guy who had the spear just kind of smacking the water with the spear as they go, like hoping that if it comes back, he'll stab it. But after they get back to shore, the only movement is that of the waves and the people very shaken. The guy gets back there, and then one of the older men runs over and starts trying to like wrap this guy's just ripped to shreds arm, just trying to wrap it up so he stops bleeding. It only consists of the sound of the wind, the waves, and this man's screams. Fen, you were able to make it back to the dock kind of in this kind of arrangement of terrible things happening.
I think I kind of back myself up against like a collection of lobster traps or something like that, and it's like put both of my hands on put my hand on my wounded arm, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. Watching them fix that guy's arm, you're like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
As you kind of drop, breathing heavy. It's not like running through the woods. This was like a marathon in comparison. I would like everybody not there to roll me some perception as you guys casually walk to the water. Just hey, today's pretty good. Having an okay day.
Nice weather out. You know?
That's a natural 20. Are you? Yes!
Like a hunting dog, like a pointer, he's just on the ground sniffing, and his head shoots up, but he points.
What is it, boy?
Fun!
There's Finn falling down the well.
Fun!
Let's go.
You get a whiff of Fenn's blood in the air, and you hear the screams of somebody at the dock.
I regained 4 hit points.
Oh boy.
Like, I'll
Oh, he's doing great.
Roll
just-
a 1.
I rolled a 2.
Boy.
Yeah, you hear that somebody is screaming at the dock, Scorbjorn.
Oh boy.
I'm going to assume the information is relayed. Like, hey guys, shit's bad at the. You're just like, they don't need to know.
Hey, you guys want to go to the docks? They got fish. They got.
They have screaming people. They got
They
everything.
got
Fish
wind,
and
they got
chips.
waves, they got wailing. Like whales? No, like screams.
You all start picking up the pace, running to the dock, to where you can now see the commotion, which is now currently two men trying to lift this one guy who is like gripping his arm, and you can see that it is already bleeding through the bandages, and his shirt is just drenched in water and blood, and he's just screaming as they carry him away, trying to get him away from the docks. You see that some people are starting to like patrol the dock area and are like checking the water. You see occasionally somebody like kind of will jump and like throw a spear into the water.
What's happened?
What did Fen do?
Damn it, Ben.
Has there been an attack?
You can see as you approach, as you take a glance around, you can also see now Fen kind of plastered on the floor against the traps.
Can we all see him?
Yeah. You guys,
I pointed at him out.
you're like,
Fen!
Does he
hang
look
on!
alive?
yeah, Fen looks,
Ben looks rough. He looks unhappy.
he doesn't look dead.
Especially unhappy.
More so than usual.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Stay away from the water. Stay away from the water. It's out there. It's Uman. He's been corrupted. He's got tentacles.
What?
I found the corpse of Uman. He's corrupted. He's got tentacles. And he's vicious. Stay away from the water. Get these people away from the water.
All right. Someone help Fen, all right? I'm going to help coordinate getting the people away from the docks, okay?
But,
Yeah, I got it. Tordrick.
Oh, Tordrick! Hey! Here we go!
Yeah.
Chilling in the
yes, all right.
Only we had a
Got
clear
me
it.
right is right. We'll get you up here later.
I was just like, I know we have a healer, but it's me. I'm the healer. Tordrick, yeah. And he's going to run over, beard swaying in the wind.
Amazing, glorious.
Baywatch.
Beard watch.
Beard watch.
Beard watch.
Episode
Beer
title.
watch.
Episode title.
I meant to say dwarf watch, but
Nana, what are you doing, and what is anybody else doing if they're doing something? I'll take care of Tordrick's action.
Does it look like there's anybody currently coordinating the people on the docks, or is it kind of just a free-for-all right now?
I'm going to say, let's see how good these guys are feeling about a horrible, corrupted monster. It could be more chaotic, but it is definitely leaning more towards chaotic than organized.
All right.
should we
Nana's
roll
going
initiative?
to attempt
I
to...
don't see anything.
Oh.
Currently, nothing's attacking.
Anybody who seems to be picking up arms, Nana is going to call to them. We've fought corrupted creatures before. We're going to need to drag him out of the water. We're going to need to burn him. All right? Anyone who can feasibly get a spear or anything that might be able to strike him at range, that we might be able to pull in towards the land, we need it now. Do we have anyone else injured?
The people, go ahead and roll me. Wow, this is bad rolls on my part. Oh God.
Oh no, don't kill them all now!
Oh, this was for me to heal Fen. I feel kind of bad.
Whatever, I'll
Fen,
make it.
You get 5 extra points of healing.
That's better
Level
than I
2,
was. That's
baby.
5
That's true.
better.
Yeah,
That's
more than
5
none.
more good.
I rolled
Yeah.
1s.
Oh no.
I feel
What?
13 to 39 good.
The sisters can tell Something's a little
They're
off.
just like, ooh, weird. Nana, go ahead and roll me persuasion. I'll give you advantage because you sound like you know what you're talking about. Why not?
I mean, I did mention we had fought corrupted creatures before.
I've done this before, boys.
This is not my first rodeo. Hey! My better's a nat 20!
There you go. You sound real professional and real like you know what's going on, and everybody kind of looks at you and there's kind of a lull. And then it's kind of like a spring into action of more able-bodied people trying to grab something akin to weapons. And everybody's just watching the water. They tell you nobody else has been injured. That guy gets taken more inland. Tordrek is going to be like, Are you good, Fen?
Yes, I'll be fine, Todrick. Thank you. Tend to that man who was assaulted on the water. Help him.
I got him. He's gonna run over and he's going to give him a nice cure wounds.
Spare the dying, he's a peasant.
I'm gonna use my bow to kind of hobble over to Nana and
8 points of healing to this guy.
it's like probably more than his total
Let's go!
wounds.
Probably gets him back up to full. He's probably like,
It's like,
whoa!
You're just hulking out now.
For different reasons. He's like, what the fuck just happened?
I need a change of blood.
Keep in mind, these are all probably level 0s out here, and we're rolling in at level 5. Well, maybe level 1s. I don't know. I'm not going to assume what kind of experience these fishermen
I'm
have
not
had.
gonna assume what this fisherman
Tough
does.
life.
Anybody who wants to try and like look at the waters to see anything is welcome to roll perception to see if they can see it anywhere.
So, I would like to.
That's a 10.
24
like-
perception.
I'm going to try to get everyone around me to be quiet, and then I'm going to incant a spell, and a small person, probably 4 foot tall tops, appears on the beach or somewhere near the water about 45 feet away from me, and this person, this child kind of laughs and then goes and starts splashing in the water. I'm trying to lure the thing out with illusion.
A decoy.
Are there any
People
ships
I
out
rode.
sea?
It looks like at this point, all of the ships have made their way inward. Like there's one that's a little further out, not a lot, because they didn't even dock it. They just jumped. They just jumped to the dock. So it's kind of made its way out a little bit. Oh, yes, okay. Okay, then. All right. You make this little child walking on the beach. I'm going to see if first off people notice. They're like, a child!
Yeah.
Oh no.
So-
Hold on. Can we, I mean, Nana did say out loud to Ro a diversion or a bait, an illusion. She mentioned that out loud. I don't know how many people would have been close enough to hear it, but...
Okay. There's now this little child just splish-splashing in the water, kind of off to the side of the docks.
Was Fen close enough to hear it?
I would...
Well, you were next on Nana, right? You hobbled over to her?
Yeah, I did, but yeah. All right, as long as I heard that, as long as I know what's going on.
I would think so.
Okay.
That you were more in the loop. And you can see Roshan is casting spells and doing things. So you would know to an
And
extent.
if it helps, I'll have the child turn around and give some thumbs up to the crowd
Okay,
behind.
that would help.
Oh. Should have made like a small man or something. It'd have to be a kid. Oh.
I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see.
You watch splashing around in the water. Are you guys going to start moving closer, or are you going to keep your distance? What would you like to do?
Fenn's
I'm
keeping
keeping my
his
distance.
distance.
Fen needs to do that, yes.
Fenn's got sharpshooter, so as soon as Fenn sees this thing, he's loosed some arrows at it.
Okay.
Donna's going to take her longbow and sort of draw an arrow, have it knocked ready, and just kind of like watching near where the kid is in the waves, trying to watch for any sign of ripples under the water or a shadow or anything like that.
What I suppose I'm asking is, are these ready to actions?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, then yeah, ready to action for me. If I see a tentacle make for this kid illusion, if you will, Nana's gonna loose an arrow at it.
Okay. Same for Fen. Anybody else doing anything?
Yeah. Saga's she's keeping her distance, standing back, but she's gonna pull up the Lady Satyr hand that she has, a chill touch, and pretty much wait until she sees anything in the water and go to like grab it with the hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gorbjorn, what are you doing?
So all the local peoples like took all the harpoons and whatnot, right?
If you're trying to look for one, you can, but a lot of people have picked up things.
I'm just gonna assume that most of them are gone. So he's like ready to swan dive off this dock.
Why would you do that?
So Gorbjorn kind of at the ready, like the second I see it, I'm in. Okay. There's a kind of a lull as the sound of the waves and then the splashing and the giggles of this child. Very realistic. And then
Nice touch, Roshan.
Roshan's like, what do you mean? Oh. I don't know who that kid is. No, at just an incredible fast speed, just kind of lunging from the water quickly, just moving in on this child. You watch as this just swollen, horrible body moves in on this illusion. Everybody who had a ready to action, go ahead, and you can roll your attacks.
Let's see what we can do here.
So about how far is the monster away from me?
It sounds like you moved closer.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, like dash towards it.
I would say, what's your full dash speed?
Well, 40, so 80 total, halves would be 40 again.
You could probably get there in a round. You could certainly get to this thing in a round. All right.
Don't recommend it.
Tell me about them attacks.
I missed. I got a 9.
Okay.
I got a 3.
Oh,
Got
buddy.
a 23.
20.
Hey!
Wonderful.
That's our cinnamon roll.
Lady Satyr is going to smash.
Lady Satyr smash!
Yes. The hand is going to grab, hoping to protect this poor child. 9 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I think it's the hand stays on it, so it is grabbed, but it doesn't do any grappling or anything. But it's grabbed,
Hey,
so we can see where the hand is pretty much.
Okay. I would like you to roll insight for me.
Oh, if I hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls until the end of my turn.
Okay.
Hey!
Where
Just
was
so
this?
you know. I'm not great at D&D.
That's a mood. That's a mood, though. I
I've had-
understand.
I've had the spell for a while, but
Someone's like, wait a minute.
I got a natural 20.
Hey! That's the cinnamon roll!
You see that you perfectly land this hit. This hand gives it the good bop. You see that the necrotic damage does not do as much as you would have liked it to, but it still gets the disadvantage as well. So.
Okay.
But not as much damage as you hoped. And you watch as Gorbjorn running has already made his way and is at the creature. We are
boy!
going to roll initiative. Oh, see, that's a much better initiative, Jillian. There you go. Fen, what do you got?
19.
19.
That's
Gordon,
more like it.
I got 17? Yes, 17.
Roshan,
20.
20. Tord, Drekt, I'll do that in a second. Saga,
Natural 1, baby.
She's got to see the lay of the land. She's got to wait.
Chaos.
Nana?
Chaos. It's a 3, by the way.
You have to roll for chaos on cantrips?
No.
No.
Nice.
Nana, what do you have?
I've got a 12.
Why did that disappear? I hate this initiative tracker. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Nana.
Can't beat pen and paper.
That's very true.
Pencil and paper is better, actually.
Yeah, you can
So
beat
you
it.
can beat pen and paper.
I only do this because I think it's easier, but then when it scorns me, it is not.
Yeah.
Then it gets uneasier, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
So that's an 18.
It should stay consistently easy.
I agree that it should not get harder. I'm doing my best. Ordrex initiative 6.
Valid.
You're wonderful, Jillian. We love you.
Thank
We
you
do.
very much.
It is true. We
I-
believe in your dungeon father.
Oh, no, please.
You want me to not believe in you? Like,
So keep it secret.
okay.
Secret. Shh. Keep the pressure on. I can't think I'm doing well, and then it'll all go to shit. First in the initiative is Roshan. You see this thing get hit, the arrows whiz by, and then it's just getting bopped by this hand, and you see Gorgyorn is already at it.
Oh boy.
So, this little child, who's right in front of this raging beast, puts up 2 middle fingers and just some foul language comes out of its mouth. Says,
Something no child should know.
says something akin to like "Get fucked, Squid Man," and I need it to
Suck
roll
eggs, Squid Man.
a wisdom saving throw.
It's specialty. 12.
That will fail.
Ha
It takes 3 whole damage, and its next attack has disadvantage.
Well, now it has super disadvantage.
So 1 and 2,
Super.
baby.
It's just been completely rocked. Like a hand slaps it in the face, and a kid calls him an ugly squid man, and he's like, "Wow." Cannot believe it.
What a day.
My feelings are hurt. I
Wow.
came out here to have a good time. I'm feeling so attacked
I
right
came here to eat everybody in town and have a good time, and you know what? I just don't feel very accepted right now. Is that the end of your turn, Roshan?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Ben, you're up.
Recasting Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
Does this count as new initiative for him?
Yes, I had him roll a new initiative. Oh yeah, so he could he could do Dread Ambusher.
Ooh, hey.
Well done. Thank you for looking
Well
out for me, knowing my character better than I do. Everyone
That's
needs a
what
role
we have
player.
Crystal
I
Everyone
have
for.
played that character
I'm a role
before.
player until they're on your side.
Usually I shut up when it's on our side, so I'm like,
So with advantage, that is with sharpshooter and advantage. That's 23 to hit.
That certainly hits.
All right.
Yes.
So-
Nail it.
Uh, 22 points of damage.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Second attack.
But not necessary.
we killed it already?
Yeah.
I mean, Finn did a good bit of damage earlier.
So much damage earlier.
And then that one dude just fucking speared it in the face.
Yeah, this thing, thanks everybody for rolling initiative and being here for this. But that arrow whizzes in, Gorbrin, you run in screaming, you grab your sword, you go in to strike, and then it explodes in front of you, just like a whale, just pops.
Oh.
I was actually gonna like drag it to shore and like bite it and shit like that, but just
Yeah, you go to
I'll
like,
probably drag up one tentacle. I'm like, fuck, now I gotta get the carcass. Like,
yeah, and now
Yeah.
you're presented with multiple parts you have to.
Oh no.
And as fast as we got into it, I'm just kidding. We're not done with initiative. You guys see churning in the fucking water, nerds.
thank you.
Oh, it would have been whatever killed him.
Nerds.
Oh god.
This thing explodes over you. Its body flying everywhere. Gorbjorn, you're just like, wow, what a fucking mess.
I mean, better start pulling him out of the waves, get him on shore so we can burn him.
And then you just see, just rising from the water, you see 3 more creatures, not as large and like swollen and distended, not covered in the appendages of an octopus, but still just like rotten, terrible, corrupted looking men that start to rise up, having followed it to the shore.
Oh no.
They have not fully gotten to you yet, but they are cropping up like little daisies. And with that, Gorbjorn, it's your turn.
How far away am I from the shore?
I don't get the rest of my turn.
Oh yeah, he still has an extra attack. Yeah.
I have two
That's
extra
true.
attacks.
I'd like you to roll
Ooh.
perception to see if you can see these things.
All right.
Because
all right.
Gorbjorn's
Fair
on.
enough.
Gorbjorn's
Fair
like,
enough.
And with that nat 20 like percent. Oh,
I got a 12 perception, so probably don't see him.
it's difficult mostly because the water has been chummed with this thing's body.
All right. Yeah. It's a. Guys, I got it. It's good. I got it. We can go home.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm
Well
going to
done,
say,
Fred, well done.
you're welcome to do something else, but you do not currently see the extra threat.
All right. Yeah. I'm just gonna like. I go to high five Nana. That's all.
Yeah, it's not a high five.
Yeah. That was excellent marksmanship.
Oh, excellent. Yes. So much so that I'll forego my aversion to physical contact. High five.
Gorbjorn.
I'm proud of you for initiating.
And the creature's starting to rise up.
how far away am I from the shore?
How far away are you from the shore?
And how far away are you from those things?
Same
Current,
thing.
same difference. You are
Same
about,
differences, whatever.
I would say you're not that far away. You're about 20 feet from being fully out of the water.
Cool. Then
I wouldn't say it even deters your speed that much either. You're not that deep.
okay, so then I guess I would go as much as out of the water to where I know I wouldn't be at disadvantage when striking. And then I'm just gonna have my great sword ready. I'm gonna rage and go like, "There's more!"
More? Where?
Then you guys can see the popping out as they start to move up and out of the water towards Gorbjorn. Gorbjorn, you have a ready to action if any of them get a
Oh
change. Speaking of such, Nana, it is your turn.
no. Oh boy, is it. All right. Nana is going to use her bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark. Let me see. Range of 90 feet. Are they within that range?
Yes, they are within 90 feet.
Whichever one is closest to her. I don't know which of those guys it is, but that one. And she's going to draw another arrow and loose it at that son of a gun.
Go for it.
Ooh, yeah, that's more like it. 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Lovely. 8 points of piercing plus the Hunter's Mark damage, which is an extra d6. Sorry, meant to roll that too. Oh, another 6. Oh, that's nice. 8 plus 6. Help me, brain.
Sorry, I'm looking at Tordrek's spells.
14.
14 points of piercing damage. Thank you.
It is not down, but you wreck this thing as an arrow like goes through the neck and like kind of out the jaw. As it gurgles and like ooze of like black and sea foam just come out of its mouth. Anything else?
I have one more attack.
By all means.
Does a 17 hit?
17 does hit.
Yes! 11 points of piercing damage.
Oh, yeah.
With the hunter's mark added in.
Oh, of course. One arrow, shunk. Second arrow, shunk directly into the head, and it falls back into the waves, kind of floating softly and kind of rocking back and forth.
All right.
Anything else?
Nana is going to try to move along the dock and kind of assess if there are any other civilians around or if most of them have gone ahead and evacuated.
Yeah, I will say none of them are like on the beach. They are certainly not on the beach.
That's good.
None of them
They shouldn't be.
All right, it is now Tordrek's turn. And he is going to say a soft word to his goddesses, and then he is going to cast Sacred Flame.
I feel like he would shriek a little bit first, like, "Oh!" and then
Oh!
I got sad for a second. I thought I was rolling him, but I was actually rolling the thing's dexterity saving throw. It certainly hits. I was like, oh, he hit. Oh,
Good
shit.
job, Tordrick.
Does 10 points of damage. Shit.
Nice.
To one of them, just an explosion of radiant energy, just like the arm of it almost just kind of like pops off and is kind of dangling there, kind of being pushed by the waves. Undeterred, it continues to move forward. Tordrick kind of looking back and forth. Here you go. And he is going to bless the three closest people, which would probably be Saga, Roshan, and then an up in the air for either Fen or Nana. Well, Nana walked away, so Fen.
No, Fen.
Yeah, so Fen, Roshan, and Saga, you are now blessed. His bless is D4. Cool. That is his turn. He is now done. Saga, you're up. Me.
I just thought I
I
just noticed that we were in battle.
Saga's like cleaning out her nails. What? Oh.
I'm going to since I noticed the hand didn't work that well this first time, so I'm just going to try to hit it with a chaos bolt.
What level?
The one that looks like it's been hit a few times, which I think is 2 of them have been hit.
Well, one of them has been hit twice now, so one of them's looking pretty bad.
Then I'll go for that one. 24.
Yes, that certainly hits.
Great.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful. That's just the first level, and so that is going to be these 2 and this one. Oh my. Okay. 15, 21 points of, let's go thunder damage. Yeah, she just oh, get away! And then like this big old bolt of like energy comes off, and it you can hear the get away echoing across.
Amazing.
It explodes from the inside as the thunder erupts, completely ripping it to as Getaway echoes across the beach. I'd like you to roll to see if you surge.
Oh, good.
There's just like zombie flesh on my face now. Like,
Corbier's covered in zombie flesh.
16.
This is
We're
just
good.
a normal day for him.
fair.
It is now time for the one remaining monster to try and do something. It runs over to Gorbjorn. Gorbjorn, take your attack.
Reckless. So that's a 19 to attack.
Yes, certainly.
Oh,
Certainly.
That's. Here, wait. So 27 damage on the first attack.
Yeah, tell me how you do this.
Just straight clean through the middle!
Oh.
Friends fall instantly next to it. It runs forward. You cut it in half, and it just.
And then for my second attack, I know it's dead, but I'm just gonna like pierce it to like the ground. So it's like, I can identify this body.
Like this one I know, and you stab that into the ground next to it. You guys are now officially out of initiative. Gorbjorn covered in goop. Multiple bodies in the water.
So the little child on the beach puts up the two middle fingers again, and then sinks into the sand and disappears.
There he goes.
Oh, now I have to get everything out of the
what a
ocean.
rude little child.
Yeah, Gorbjorn, you're gonna start the task of pulling things out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Does anyone have a net?
You were definitely gifted a net.
No, I'm told this is the worst. I'm told that's the worst weapon to bring, so no.
Yeah, a net is given because there are nets aplenty.
One would hope.
Fish.
Yeah, we can like kind of trawl this shit out of the water, you know?
I mean, there's always something that gets left behind because, one of them exploded.
Yeah.
But once again, you're not in the Valley of Odin. Hopefully, just a drop of blood in the ocean is not enough for, corruption. But, things have been weird lately. You guys, as much as you can, and now have a horrible totem of bodies, just decayed, bloated bodies on the beach in a pile.
And squid or octopus.
All right. Is anyone here an authority on death rites or rituals for dealing with corrupted individuals?
I could give it a go. I don't know what god they worship, but I'll do what I can. And kind of rolls up his sleeves, and you watch as he sits down, and he sets up his little effigies to his goddesses, and he begins to pray. You see people slowly start to, none of them come close enough to be actually on the beach, but people do come to like the edge of the dock and are watching. Cordrick's gonna roll a religion roll.
Saga's gonna just, wander off.
Can I take a bath in the ocean while all this is happening?
Yeah, you just
That's
like
a good idea.
I need to swim a mile that way and then just get it off me.
clean yourself off easy enough. Just just a tentacle out of the hair, like
Yeah, Fenn's gonna.
Pouring out the helmet.
Fenn's making his way towards town to try and ask around to find Therma.
We never got her name.
Wait, no, she said her name was Therma.
She did indeed say her name.
Okay.
She did.
Yeah.
As everybody tried not to laugh and failed very aggressively.
Damn it, I was away.
Yeah, so Fenn's gonna try and find her and let her know that we're gonna have a funeral ceremony for her husband.
As you start asking people kind of for directions, you are given information to the extent of it seems somebody who knows her informing you that that a funeral had happened earlier that day, and that they would be more than happy is not the phrasing, but that they would be willing to go tell her what happened, and they don't think she should see this.
Understood. Let her know that we tried our best. It was too late.
The man nods.
So, I was bringing up the bodies. Could I have searched them for any gold before anybody got...
Oh,
Gorbjorn!
It's character development.
I know!
Give him a good
Can I-
serve.
Oh.
can
I'm sorry,
I-
what?
Am I
Go
before
ahead.
we?
Give me,
we're waiting until I get back
perception
there
or
before we light the fire.
Investigation.
Investigation? Okay.
It says he's like fishing them out. He's like reaching into if any pockets are intact.
I'm gonna have to get this trained, but I'm 17 minus 1. Or 18 minus 1, 17.
Okay. You
Golbion, go ahead.
a lot of the stuff is not really intact anymore because of how just like terribly disgusting they are. But you do find pretty snazzy. It looks like a little anklet. You find it doesn't seem to be made out of anything too fancy. It looks like it's made out of some beads, like a puka shell anklet.
Yeah.
Righteous.
Oh my
You're
god.
the new man.
Golbion, before we light the fire, you should probably find Alec Bramson and let him know that the remains of Uman are within. He is offering gold, which I'm to be understood that is a valuable coin, metal monies.
How many
It's one of the
gold
good
did he
ones.
offer?
Many golds, from what I understand. There was a posting just over there.
Oh.
It's written down, so it's good. It's binding.
On paper, you can't take it back. No backsies.
No take backsies. Mm-mm-mm.
But yes, Scorpion, find that man. If you want many gold, you can let him know that unfortunately, Oman is among these that we're about to burn.
What was his name?
Alec Bramson?
Bramson. Mm-hmm. Roshan, I'm going to say you hear them talking about Alec Bramson.
You're talking about the chief's son. Well, I don't think he probably needs too much to come down and survey the damage. Perhaps any one of these folk could help us and go find him for us.
But at the mention of gold, Gorbjorn would jump. So he doesn't even know who this is, but he's just running through town going like, Alec Bramson!
Oh my god, Gorbjorn!
We're watching you yell for Alec. The same guy who is like about to take off and go talk to Therma, looks at you and he's like, do you want me to tell Alec what happened?
Oh. Yeah, they need me.
Yeah, it's late anyways, but I will definitely leave a message, if he's not there. What are your names? You guys definitely earned, the reward.
Where is he? I'll speak to him.
Oh my god. I am...
You can go to the Longhouse if you're looking for him.
Okay. Where's that?
He kind of points in a direction. He points like into the city. He's like, it's that way.
It's the big one.
That doesn't help, Gorb.
Oh boy. Gorbjorn, why don't we let these fine folk let their own leader know where to find us? He wanted notice of this situation anyway, according to the posting. Probably he'll want to come and at least take in the situation or send someone along on his behalf.
And then you hear the floosh of flame and the bodies are set alight.
No! Wait, Tordrick!
And what you told me to give them last rites and then burn them.
Yes, we need a moment. Can you...
I'm not unlighting them. I already did the whole thing. It's kind of sacrilegious to stop. There's witnesses.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Fine, there's lots of
You're
witnesses.
not wrong. Okay, that's
Fine.
fine. Yes,
And
that's fine.
These seem to be honorable men, and all of them kind of like, yeah.
That is true. These are good, honorable, and courageous men, I have to say.
Courageous enough to stop looking for their lost colleague.
Fen!
Sorry.
I'm gonna roll
I'm
to
meant
see
to
if
be
anybody
shutting
heard
up
that.
now.
There is a man nearby who you see caught wind of that. And there is a moment of looking at you. And the other guy pipes in. Are you guys staying at Undertow?
We are, yes.
Where else to go? No.
Producer.
Producer?
That's terrible. The
Producer from the heavens?
Hello?
Where are you? My
Hey.
name is Nana Hemming, and my name, as well as the rest, should be on
Kevin,
the
we-
Oh,
roster.
it's not your god, Nana. God's still not speaking to you.
They all nod. You're gonna give everybody's name?
Yeah. Just in case, one of us is out.
He's
And they
talking to
could-
me.
Yeah,
Yes, I do.
well, okay, then you can give your own name.
And I'm Gordon.
That's Scorpion.
The names are given to an extent. This guy nods and he's going to make his way into town. He says, I'll have him try to meet you sometime at the Undertow. I can't promise that's tonight, but he'll know where you are.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and this guy makes his way out. You see the guy who heard Fen. He kind of makes his way back into the crowd, and you see him having some conversations of sorts. But people start to clean up for the day as it is getting a bit later, and everybody's a bit shook.
Yeah.
So it's calling it a day a bit early.
That's fair.
The
Nana
body-
wants to kind of go around to various people that she saw, taking up arms and helping each other, and just kind of check in on folks, make sure people are uninjured. Let them know you did well. Thank you for your help. This, that, the other.
Oh, and if we find that one guy, that was just amazing.
There's just one guy who's just walking like this.
As anyone
He's got
should.
Super Saiyan hair going on.
Hair blowing in the wind. Wow, and then ladies have shown up and they're like, oh my god. It's starting to get dark a little bit. After all of this has happened, the bodies have been completely burned down at this point, as Tordrek tends to that. Would you guys like to head back to Undertow?
Yeah. I think that's next logical step for us, unless
Yeah.
anybody had somewhere they wanted to stop.
Are there
I would
any? Go ahead.
just like to check in with Dagwood and tell her she probably doesn't need to search for these men anymore.
That is true, yes. Do you want anyone to go with you, Roshan, or you alright?
It should just be a quick message.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll meet you at the Undertow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, Saga's just, she walked away when all of that was happening, the bodies, and she just wanted to go find some of the people that took damage in the fight, if they're still around.
Okay. There's some people who seem to have sustained some amount of damage just from either in the chaos or anything related to that. And you are able to start helping people. You kind of watch somebody who's bandaging wounds and are able to mimic it, and you've learned some over your travels about how to take care of some injuries, and you're able to start helping people.
Yeah, since earlier when I was talking to Dagwood, she kind of just asked me if I could just do the prophecies, and then I was thinking, well, maybe there's a whole bunch of other powers that I don't know that I can do, because I just haven't tried. So when I'm bandaging wounds, I'm just gonna try to do some healing magic, and if it doesn't work, nobody has to know. But I'm gonna try, and then maybe some minor illusions or something of sparkles.
Roll religion for me or Arcana.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Yep, that's about right. 8.
Okay. Kind of like the situation with Morden. This one guy has a cut on his hand, and you make the sparkles happen, and it almost seems like he's soothed by the fact that he saw you do magic. The injury is not very tended to, but there's something that kind of stirs within you that you're like, if I keep trying, I could do this. I know I could.
Feels better
Yeah.
psychosomatically. Like he sees you doing something, so he thinks he feels better.
It's a placebo.
I feel better too.
Placebo magic.
Are you just sending a message, or are you going in?
He would. She's not out on her balcony yet, is she?
Let's roll some luck. Yeah. Yeah, she's on the balcony. Look at that.
Hey!
Starting to set. She promised she would. She's like walking out, and she's pulling out the telescope and like kind of cleaning off the glass.
Dagwood, no need to look for the men who were lost at sea. We already found them and gave them their last rites.
She looks down at you like for a moment, like, oh, and then like, oh. Because people, it just seems like she was shocked somebody was talking to her. She looks down. Thank you for informing me, Roshan. I truly appreciate it. It's what I'm assuming it went how I assumed it would. I am glad it was able to be dealt with. And I think all of you certainly deserve the praise for it.
Thank you, Dagwood. Have a good night.
Good night, then. And she's holding the little spyglass, and she's like waiting for you to turn around before using it. And roll insight.
Sure. Ooh, like 10? Probably less. Nope, 10.
She seems a little antsy. She seems a little nervous.
I would be too if I had a snake spyglass wanting to look at the sea.
I would also be nervous.
How long have you been waiting for that thing?
Probably a very long time.
I am going to say, if it's all right with everybody, that you all make your way to the undertow.
Are there? We're in a city.
To an
Are
extent.
there
Town.
a town? Yeah. Are there trees? In
Civilized place. Are there trees?
Are there trees in the town, or has it been clear cut?
This was mostly built into rock and sand and made into like kind of a big dock area. Trees are not here. You'd have to like go back all the way to the front of town, climb the steps, and go up if you wanted to get to like trees. It would take you a chunk of time.
All right, I'm going to the undertow.
Okay. You're welcome to go to the trees, but also it's up to you.
No, I'm going to the undertow.
Okay. It ends up being because some of you stayed behind to like you're helping people finishing things up. You all end up kind of converging on the undertow at the same time. As all of you make your way up, in whatever state of mind you may be, however you may be feeling, there is probably good feelings and bad feelings that could be associated with what happened. And it depends on your take on it. When you approach the undertow, there is like a feeling that does hit you. Like it draws your attention, even though like it wasn't like a hey over here, but just a feeling, and all of your attention is drawn to the undertow. And it's just an energy from it. It feels like, I know it's scary for me to say a building feels alive in this game because I already did that to you guys, but
Get the fire.
everyone starts screaming. No, it feels like it is just alive, and there is the sound of music and people having a good time, and it's like a radiating energy. People are welcome to roll history or intelligence, which is basically the same shit. Like,
Some people might be better at one than the other.
I rolled a 0.
hell yeah. You're like, fun.
Don't give a fuck.
I have a 4.
Get
I'm a
11.
ranger. I don't know what I'm doing.
I got a 14.
13? Okay, yeah, 14.
Yeah, anybody who got over a 10, you don't know if it's related, but you know that a lot of the times funerals involve ruckus merriment. That they are not always dour things. They are for parts of it, but then sometimes people can party for days to honor the people who have passed. It is just the way that people have done things for forever. But it is strange, just the amount of energy and warmth coming from the undertow. You can see like light from inside from the fire, and you can just hear people singing, and there's merriment and drinking, and there's the smell of cooking food and drinks, and it is just, it stands out amongst the buildings next to it.
I would turn to Torch and go like, "Is this dwarf thing?"
Oh, I mean, yeah, dwarves definitely do this, but this is, death doesn't always have to be, the end. That people can experience these sort of things forever and honor them. The way that they probably knew this man was from having drinks with him, from spending time with him, and I think I think that's why people do this, that this is a way to show that that their spirit lives on, even in, just small things like being together and having a drink as friends. But this, it feels like so much. And he's like looking to the undertow, and like it just almost vibrates with energy.
Weird. Where I come, we fight when one dies.
Fight? Each other?
No, we go to war.
Oh. Well, I guess they'd have to go to war with the ocean.
That would be a very long war.
I don't know if they'd win, but I'd support them if that was their choice. As one does when in Arentoft, I am going to celebrate this man's life. And Tordrek's gonna start making his way into the undertow.
Well, Gorbjorn,
I hope we'd be welcome.
yeah, well, you don't have to do the same thing as your old tribe used to do. You can change and adopt new things.
I am
If you want
learning,
to.
and I'm trying to be better.
Oh,
I think
well,
we're already making great progress.
yeah, you're wonderful.
Just gonna slowly put away my sword.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a
Thought
good
I had
idea.
to fight like a bunch of people, but yeah, this is just a fun funeral.
Nah, we're good. We're good.
Are people heading in?
Yes.
Yeah, Fenn's gonna head straight up to his room.
Okay, I'm going to, you're welcome to start that trajectory. It is, the second you guys open the door, it is like being, almost like you were pulled into, like, another dimension. Like, it is a separate being inside of the undertow. And it is just incredibly warm, and it is a sensation that, like, tickles the back of your skull, and it, like, the air is sweet, and it's, I want to describe it almost as like the room is humid, but it is not uncomfortable. There is just a thick warmth to the room, and you can see that there is merriment and people moving and spinning and drinking. And you watch as a man stands up on the table, who you all recognize as Broggy. His hair is pushed back out of his face. He is now wearing some new clothes, which is a white top tucked into his pants, which the pants are now fitted and not torn, or the items of his abusers. He stands on the table. We have gathered here, and so have our heroes. And he kind of stomps on the table, and everyone, it is a loud roar of excitement when he acknowledges you as you all walk in. There's a big smile on his face, and you can see that his like cheeks are flush like he'd been drinking. It's just an energy exuding from him, almost like he is just a new man, standing before you on top of this table. My friends have returned. These fine people of Arentoft are the saviors of the West. They are champions of Arentoft. They have cleared your caves of monsters. They have found your friends, and they have set the universe right. You may party, and you may frolic, and you may live because of these people, because of their kindness. And there is another ruckish cheer. People hit drinks together. He moves his hand. Another round! And there is just excitement as like he takes like a satchel from his side and he throws it onto the bar. There, And he points to Roshan. This here, fine people of Arentoft, is my dear friend Roshan. And I have spoken of him, and I have told you that he is a bard, and I have yet to hear him play me one song. And people start to kind of like patting on them. Roshan, my dear friend, please play us a song so that we may dance and that I may dance with the lady. And he jumps off the table and just full of this just enticing just kind of energy. Just he goes over to Saga. A dance?
Oh, yes.
And he takes your hand. Roshan, play us something that we all can enjoy, that we could be happy together, all of us. People of Arentoft! And they all cheer. And they're pushing you towards kind of the staging area, Roshan.
So
are there any pan flutes that Nana might be able to find around?
It seems like there's not a lot of instruments placed up, but Broggy, as he walks over and he takes Saga's hand and starts to lead her into the crowd, he gives you a wink, Roshan, and he's giving you bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Which is the D12 that it is.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
So
godly bardic inspiration.
Roshan will make his way over to the stage, and for the first time in a very long time, he will get out his lyre and a small tambourine, and he will set the tambourine by his foot and the lyre on his lap, and he will start to perform a joyous melody.
Go ahead and roll and then give me the extra bardic if you want to.
Yeah, I will. 35.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god!
You guys have heard Roshan play the occasional ditty, something to use his magic. Some of you have heard him play in taverns. You're muted, Fen, if you're trying to say something.
Kyle.
No, I was just mouthing. How is that even possible?
I'm sure well, first off, he has to roll
Proficiency.
12 to add to
Expertise.
I know. I mean, it's still wow.
This room already full of this energy that you realize maybe in part is the people of Arentoft, but is certainly Broggy. And then Roshan, also a comparable energy in music that you have all not heard in a long time, if ever. As Roshan begins to play a ditty for them to dance to, Broggy takes up the position. May I lead?
Oh, yes. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so well. Oh.
He smiles and moves, and when he steps, it's almost like the room moves with him, and everyone begins to everyone grabs partners and begins to spin and dance and go ahead and roll me performance, Saga, to see if you see how well you're doing.
Saga's just giggling like a little just the time of her life. Oh, that was pretty good. Performance? Oh goodness. That's gonna be. Saga's really leaning into this. That's 23.
Hell yeah. Broggy is perfection in each step. It is perfectly on the beat, perfectly the dance moves, and you lean into it and are kind of just pulled into this bubble of music and warmth and dancing. Nana, what would you like to do?
I would like to step up to Fen and extend an elbow. This is maybe something perhaps that he has seen her do once or twice in preparation for Ave's wedding, as a way to help him practice dancing without necessarily needing to do the whole holding and hand and waist and all, so that we can dance around one another with a focal point.
Ben's gonna do his best to suck it up and see what everyone else is doing. He knows what he's supposed to do. He's been instructed on this, and he's going to embrace Mana in the way that you're supposed to dance, and he's going to try to dance with her.
Okay.
You've got this. You've got this.
Beautiful enough. I think no rolls needed. It is clumsy and it is beautiful and it is dancing, and if it is fun, it is fun, and if it's not, it's not. But the air is so full of this energy, even if this is not something you enjoy, there is just something intoxicating about just being in this room, just a good feeling in this room. And as the people start to move, Gorbjorn, what would you like to do when everyone starts dancing?
I'm sorry, Norma. I'm sorry. This is not right. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best.
You're doing just fine, all right? Don't apologize. Just
Anyhow.
dance, all right?
To Gorbjorn. Sorry.
Is there any like dwarves like arm wrestling or drinking for like a competition?
Oh yeah, there's definitely people who are like kind of standing and sitting near the bar who are just drinking copious amounts and kind of hitting their fist on the table to make the beat, and they're just kind of swaying to the music. So you're welcome to make your way over that way to where these people are drinking very heavily.
Oh, I was more going like, is there a game of drinking or a game of like strength?
Yeah, there seems to be some people who you like get the vibe that they're going head to head and they're drinking currently.
Okay, yeah, I'll go in and bring up Tordrick, and we're gonna like try to bet and like drink against them.
Tordrick, vibing with you instantly, runs over and he jumps up on the counter, and he's just like, "Rounds for us, boys!" And it's just like they look at you and they're like, "Ah!" and everyone's like, "Ah!" and there's just cheering and laughter and excitement. And Saga, you can see Bragi is completely focused on you, and it's like you're dancing in a bubble. Like the sound starts to kind of warble a bit, and he looks at you, and it slows down a bit. And he smiles, and it's kind of one of his sadder smiles, but he smiles at you. I wanted to do, a bit of a last dance, and then maybe some other time we could dance again, but I have to go.
Oh. Well, I guess I can't say I didn't know this was gonna happen, but I'm really happy that I got to meet you and that we spent a lot of time together. And I hope I remember you for a long, long, long time, and I hope we see each other again.
I believe we are tied together, and whether it is through Lady Seder or just fate and time, I think we will find each other again. I know that is certain. I am a better person for having known you.
Oh, same to you. There's some of my best memories with you guys. Oh, this is so fun. You're I think you've really blossomed. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And
oh, finish it.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Saga's just gonna pull him into a hug and kind of spin.
You both hug and just sort of spin in a circle together. And he smiles and he kisses your temple. Thank you, Saga. I feel like I can at least try to be half the man I was. And thank you. And you can see, looking at him this close, something you did not notice before, but you can just see like the movement of like kind of light over his tongue, and it seems to just be slowly moving across runes, multiple runes that are placed on his tongue. She couldn't fix them. She does not know how to fix the scars on my stomach, but that does not mean I cannot be something great. And you are already something great, and I aspire to be so marvelous, so unbroken. Thank you. And he like picks you up, and he does like, and it's in time with everybody. He like lifts you, and he does like the spin where he moves you around. The group doing the same and moving around you. And he lowers you. You will see each other again, I'm certain.
Yes.
I ask that you do not tell your friends until tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm ready for goodbyes, but you are worth however that may feel.
Oh, Thank you. I'll try. But just know, Bragi, look, this is just like you're having a time just like I did. I woke up and I didn't know what was going on, and it was thrown into a whole new world and everything, and now you have the same thing. And I mean, if you say that I'm doing well, then it's obvious. Obviously, you can do well too. Like it's the same thing. It's a rebirth. You're starting over. Treat it like that. Don't have to think about stuff that happened in the past. It's okay.
I agree. We are
Yes,
new people, and we should be excited to be those people no matter who they may be.
exactly. Are you okay?
It sounds like there are some
Cats.
cats who are also celebrating.
Guys, relax. It's a party. You guys hear the song starts to come to its natural end, and he takes a hand around your waist and he like lowers you into like a dip and ends it, and then kind of like pulls you up and like sets you on your feet. And once again, it's that energy that radiates off of him, and he is smiling. And somebody in the crowd yells, "A second song, switch partners!" And everyone instantly moves about, and he gives you a nod of the head. I feel Nana is an important person to also say goodbye to. Let me head over there. I know we will see each other again.
You have your satyr symbol, right?
He unbuttons like the top part of his shirt and kind of like pulls it up. Always.
Okay. I'll see you again.
I'll see you again. And he kind of just like, it's like he melts into the crowd and moves across it. And as everybody kind of finishes, and then you hear switch partners almost as quickly as it is said. Bragi, just this brimming energy of excitement, is next to you, Nana. Just one for the ages?
One for the ages? Why not? Why not?
He takes you and starts to, perfection dance, pulls you into the crowd.
Producer.
Kevin, my dude.
God? Hello?
There's
Oh my.
Oh no, somebody.
He can't hear us.
Oh no.
Oh lordy.
Try and talk over this real fast. Just one last thing I wanted to do as he dances with you around the room, Nana. He kind of very stealthily pulls out a folded note from his pocket, and he slips it into your pocket. Thank you for saving me. I'm giving you this note. I'd like you to read it in the morning.
In the morning?
Yes.
Is it important? Well, obviously it's important, but...
It is important for the morning, but not tonight. Tonight is a celebration, and everyone, there's just a ruckus roar of cheers.
For celebration!
There's just another cry of excitement, and he looks at you, and you can feel kind of that, like, space only around you and him as he looks at you. I am alive because of the kindness of two people. I am free because of your kindness, and I only hope I can repay that one day. And then he goes back full speed into like the spin and like dances with you around the room. And basically, as quickly as he was there, it is the end of the song, and he bows and he sort of moves into the crowd, just part of the building being a whole body together, just beating a heart together. And you see his hand kind of in the distance, just another round! And there is a cheer of excitement, and that is where we are going to stop for tonight. I know I ran on for a little bit, but by golly, hey, what are you gonna do?
It's a party!
It's a party!
I wanted to end with something, a party, and not dead, burning bodies on the beach like I normally end things.
It's a party
nice
about
change of
dead bodies
pace.
on the beach.
You guys know what I normally do. This is
It's a palate cleanser.
yeah, just like it's a nice coffee after meals,
Yeah,
I want to thank you guys for watching On the Backs of Gods. That's really appreciated that you guys are here watching with us. If you want to keep up, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Backs of Gods. We also have other shows on the Dice Cult. Tomorrow, I would say we are going to have Legends of Theia, which Frank, who's not with us today, but hopefully will be there tomorrow to do some some fun stuff. I heard there was some mushrooms and a mystery, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I think it's definitely worth getting into another D&D game if you're not doing anything on Tuesday. Sounds like fun to me. And
I mean, who's doing anything on Tuesdays?
I certainly don't do things on
Who
Tuesdays.
works?
Boo.
Boo!
Abby, what's happening on Wednesday?
Well, Wednesdays at 7:30 is Roll Link. I think we are off on a new adventure soon. Gonna go find our friend, the Tiefling, and maybe do some stuff with her. I don't know.
There you go. We're always looking for friends. We're just here to have a good time.
Exactly.
Check in with them on Wednesday if you're interested. And
Absolutely.
Saturday, we are going to have Call of Cthulhu, which is part of our Spooky Saturdays. And we go between Vampire and Call of Cthulhu. Sometimes we do one-shots, but this week is Call of Cthulhu. Join us then if you're interested in something a little different than D&D. I think it's a good time. There's definitely something in that graveyard, and we're going to figure out what it is.
We sure are, Kyle and myself and Jillian. We're gonna figure it out, as well as our good friend Sai.
Thank you all so much
That's
for
awesome.
being with us. We really appreciate it. I think it was a fun episode, ending on a high note because sometimes I am kind.
Hooray!
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you being here, and we will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, one and
Goodbye.
all.